Hi! Introductions make me awkward, so I'm just gonna jump straight into what I wish to talk about today. I'm going to talk about the chakra system in our bodies, the energy system of our body. And this is something that I had been wanting to talk about or make a video on for so long, but I kept putting it off. And it had been on my to-do list. Recently, I feel called to do this, and the timing couldn't be more perfect. As we all know what we are experiencing collectively on Earth, not only is it like a viral pandemic, but it is also a fear pandemic. I wanted to talk about, how, yes, we are all having a physical experience of this situation, but if we just add a layer of an energetic perspective on top of it, and have those two things, experience those two things together, it can elevate our experience of this current situation. Energetically, things feel very erratic. Some days the energy is less erratic, on some days it is much more. And I want to give a bit of context of my own experience with this situation. So in the build-up of this, for the past nearly 3 months, I've been very calm and cool and centered and grounded. I knew my immune system is working really well, and nothing happens in the universe without purpose. Everything is in divine timings. Everything is just the way it should be. Everything is perfect and reasonable. And suddenly, it started building up, spread onto Iran and Italy. And I'm still in my Zen mode, and I'm still in that observer mode where it is an experience the world is having together. So it's kind of exciting. It's kind of adventurous that we're all connected through this one experience. But last week, there were 2 days in which I felt the brunt of this fear and shock and apocalyptic sort of energy. It affected straight in my gut. Like, I could feel the energy like ringing my gut, my stomach, and this part of my body. And it's just so fascinating that I could experience it. It's an energetic experience, but I felt it so tangibly. And even like a couple of weeks ago, when this entire build-up of not having hand sanitizers or running out of toilet paper, like this sort of thing was in the news, in the air, and I would be perfect at home. I'm like perfectly fine. I'm in my world of love and oneness and unity and infinite possibilities of the universe, and I'm in my zone and I'm doing my little things. But as soon as I would go out, and I would go out in a public space, I would feel that pull. I would feel this energetic vacuum sucking me in, where I would start getting jittery, and I'd be like, okay, wait, do I need to get sanitizer as well? Do I need to stock up on stuff? Maybe I should. This is such an unsafe world, and oh my god, what is happening? It was just, this is how I was experiencing it energetically, but I was also observing it. So that was very interesting. Wednesday was the worst for me, where we went out to get some groceries, and just the energy in the grocery store was so bleak. It was so dystopic. Even though it wasn't, the shelves were not as bad as the images that had been floating around on social media. It wasn't that bad, but just the sentiments in the air, energetically, it felt like I was in a dystopic film. This is not reality. It threw me off so much. So energetically, I was just super exhausted, and I was spending a lot more time just resetting. I had to reset multiple times a day and just breathe, come into my body, and come into that state of consciousness that is that doesn't even believe, that knows that everything is fine and beautiful and perfect the way it is. But it's just that things, and energetically it's just a fluctuation. It's up and down, up and down. And a lot of people are feeling it. But if you're conscious of these energetic pendulums in the collective consciousness, in our collective experience, then rather than getting swayed into it, rather than getting sucked into it, we can say, hold on, no, I'm just going to observe it. And I'm going to use this moment to pause and reset. Because it's very easy to get sucked into the drama, into the fear, into the anxiety. And this pandemic is highlighting how, as a collective species, we have this lust for drama. If we educate ourselves on how this experience of our life is not just a physical experience, it's also an energetic experience. Like the energy that is animating this body, whoever this is, soul, spirit, energy, consciousness, chi, prana, this is an energetic experience at the base of it. While it looks very physical, it looks very rigid, but we are experiencing it energetically, and things are a manifestation of different frequencies of energies. We can elevate our level of consciousness and we can approach this from a different perspective and not get so caught up and tangled in the fear pandemic. So I wanted to talk about the chakra system in our energy body. There are in total 114 chakras. But out of those 114, there are 7 major chakras. And these chakras, or chakras as would be pronounced traditionally in Sanskrit, but I'll stick to the Western pronunciation. So these chakras are like energy vortexes inside our body. And again, they don't have a physical manifestation. If you were to find that energy, you're not going to find it, you're not going to catch it, can't study it, you can't see it. But you can feel it inside you. This is the soul, this is the energy. And how energy meets in these 7 major spots in our body, that it creates a vortex. And each chakra is a level of consciousness. It represents something in our life. And all our chakras contain different programs of what we believe to be true about us, what we believe to be true about the world. So our first chakra, our base chakra, is the root chakra, which is called Muladhara. And this is related to the element earth. This is the chakra that is getting a lot of hammering and battering in this current pandemic situation. This is where our survival consciousness is. This is our basic needs of food, of sleep, and obviously in our current situation, money is such a survival element now. The second chakra is the sacral chakra. The element that is related to that is water, and this is where all our emotions are. Pleasure, our experience of pleasure, sexual energy, and the Sanskrit word for this is svadhisthana. And a balanced, healthy sacral chakra would be that you can find anything pleasurable in life, like even a smallest or mundane activity of dusting your drawers or drinking tea or drinking coffee would bring you immense amounts of pleasure. The third chakra is the solar plexus. In Sanskrit, it's called Manipuraka, and this is related to the element fire, and this is where our willpower is housed. So our ability to take action on our desires, on our dreams, and how assertive we are, how tenacious we are. This is the vortex that is kind of dictating that. The fourth chakra is our heart chakra, and this is related to the element air, and as you can imagine, this is our center of love. The fifth is the throat chakra. This is related to the element of sound, and this is our energy vortex of communication, of creativity. Any blocks here would result in feeling scared to speak up. This is the chakra that I'm also healing through these videos, through sharing my voice online. And the Sanskrit word for this is Vishuddhi. The sixth chakra, located here, but it is said to be associated with the pineal gland in the brain. This is the third eye chakra, and it's related to light. So this is when you are like, you're here in the world, you're present in this physical experience, but you can also see through it. You can see that this is an experience, that we're all energy, souls, spirits, or we're all having this here collectively together, a physical experience, and you can see through it. You're not too attached to the physical world. You can find the spiritual dimension in everything. The 7th chakra is the crown chakra. It's just above the head, and this is called Sahasrara in Sanskrit. And this is the portal to divine consciousness. This is the energy vortex that is connecting us to the spirit of the cosmos, to the spirit of the universe, and this is with which we're connected to divine energy flowing inside our body. And these 3 chakras, which is the throat, third eye, and the crown chakra, the current of this energy vortex is upwards. It's pulling us up towards divinity, towards whatever you may want to call it, heaven, cosmos, whatever. This is pulling us up towards lightness, towards spirit. And the lower 3 chakras, the sacral, the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra, are pulling us downwards towards matter, towards earth. So they're grounding us here. The current is moving downwards, and these 3 chakras are moving upwards. So this is the motion, and these 2 energies come together in our heart. So that our heart is like the interlocking system, the interlock between these 2 pulls of energies. So the shift that I keep mentioning in other videos of shifting from the ego down to the heart, this is the shift that we are making, or we need to make collectively as a human species, to move our point of perspective down into our hearts, outside of our egos, and operate from this place of compassion and oneness for all. And right now in the world, we're seeing a lot of survival instincts, fight or flight, being kicked up. So I just wanted to give an overview of these energy vortexes that exist inside us, that are enabling this experience of physical reality. But I do want to add that right now, when things are so like frenzied, it's important to nudge ourselves into a state of compassion as much as we can. Compassion for even those who are panic buying, because a lot of us are reacting right now from fear and anxiety. But if we keep calling each other out, oh, look at them, what are they doing? Look at how they're reacting. Look, why are people doing this? We have to realize that other people and us, we're all the same. We come from one source, we are one. So when we criticize someone else, we're essentially saying that we are superior than them, we are more evolved than them, we are more holy and more sacred than them, which is coming from the ego. You might have a more evolved, intellectualized perspective on this world than other people, but criticizing them and adding to this pool of drama and conflict and separation is not healthy. Like, my intention with this video is like, yes, there is a fear pandemic, but there is also, if you look, there is a pool of oneness and compassion. There are people that have come together and they're doing really nice and sweet things for each other. It's bringing communities together. I'm sure we've all seen how Italy has responded to the severe quarantine and lockdown. I saw a video of this dude who had this ginormous turntable in his balcony, and he was just playing music. He even had a microphone. He even had a freaking fog machine. So it is bringing communities together. There are so many Facebook pages that have popped up that are dedicated to finding people who need help and how can we be of service to each other in this time. I want to consciously add to this pool of love and good feelings, which is why I'm making this video, because unless we train ourselves consciously that our true nature is oneness and unity and compassion, and it's not fear and separation, and how fear works energetically in the world, fear will always divide us. It will always divide us. And if we want to change the structure of the world where there is so much power in the hands of very few, and this space between the rich and the poor is so far stretched out. If we want to bring that space together, we have to cultivate these good feelings inside us first. We need to stop calling each other out at what they're doing. We're all operating on different levels of consciousness, but we need to move more towards oneness and towards empathy for each other, towards love for each other, and connect on that level. And whatever we focus on, we'll manifest more of in that world. Like, my world is full of wisdom and lessons and abundance and love of the universe. These are the energies that I'm focusing on. The more I believe in this, the more I marinate in this energy, which is what I really advise everyone to do, to use this quarantine time to go inwards, to form some sort of spiritual practice, to form some sort of reset practice where you're plugging out of the collective and you're going inwards. And it's okay if you want to stay informed. Go ahead, stay informed. Keep in touch with what's going on and what is the progress of this pandemic. But schedule time. Schedule specific time to do that. After that, just let it go and move on with your life. Because if you visualize this pandemic as this vortex suction, it's sucking us in. It's like it wants our attention. It wants our energy. Our attention, our focus is our energy, which is our resource. So whatever we focus on, like if we are constantly putting in our mind sensationalism, drama, fear, conflict, separation, gossip, we are manifesting more of that in our life. But if we're like, okay, yes, this is an odd sort of a situation, we're all in this together and we can take it as an adventure. It's like if you have a big birthday coming up, a 30th birthday or a 50th, and you're like, I want to do something freaking crazy. And you just jump out of a plane, you skydive. It's a radical idea in your mind at that time, but it's different and it's unique and you want to do that. So from a soul's perspective, this is what is happening. Like, we essentially, our nature is just, we're so much drenched in love that we don't even know what to do with, with that. We are ecstatic beings. It's hard to put into words because in this dimension, language just does not exist as we know of it on Earth. But let's just say that we are originally just a lot of fun. We're always connected. We have so much fun. And we're like, we want to experience something radically different. We want to experience just something completely different to who I am right now. And that is what has manifested in this world, not just through this pandemic, but with everything else, where there is so much inequality and there is so much dark violence, exploitation. So we're all in this together and we are having an adventure together. And yes, it's really sad. This is affecting so many people. But no matter how much we stress, no matter how much we add to this pool of panic and anxiety, and just frenziedness, it's not going to take away anybody's pain. We're only creating more of it. And I know it's difficult. I mean, I felt that pendulum very, very strongly. I was in it and I had to come out of it. And it was exhausting. It consumes a lot of energy when you're in that swirl of panic and in that swirl of, oh my God, the world is going to end and this is so weird. It feels very real. And you can have all the beliefs and you know the universe is here with you. Everything is perfect the way it is. But that experience of fear is very, very real. But slowly just recognize it in your life. Just recognize it. Just be conscious of where you're putting your energy. What are you contributing towards? That's all. I'm going to end this here and I'll return and make separate videos on each of the chakras so we can work on them together. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.